as you've seen from the title of the video, I'm gonna go on a rolling road with my Mercedes 190e 2.5 16 valve. It's a 1990, and the reason that's supposed significant is that there's two versions, one with a catalytic converter, I think from 1990 onwards, and I think the older ones didn't have a cat. So mine, I think, came with a cat originally, but someone's already removed it, one of the previous owners. I've had a look underneath, it's just a straight through pipe, which means originally it should have made 194 horsepower. The non-cat ones made 204 horsepower. I'm not expecting those sorts of figures really. It is over 30 years old. It's got 177,000 miles on it, and as far as I know, it's not had any engine work done at all. So the reason for going on a rolling road is just to see what level it's at currently, so that when I make any changes, such as, you know, even just temporarily setting up the K-Jet a bit better than it is at the moment, because I can tell it's not tuned to run at 100% at the moment. You know, there's some flat spots. It still runs and drives fine, but I can tell there's bits where it's not making the best power. And when I come to potentially do electronic fuel injection, we can see the difference that it's made if I get to that stage. You know, potentially doing electronic fuel injection, and then maybe going all the way to individual throttle bodies. So what am I expecting in terms of power figures? I'm just hoping it doesn't make 120 brake horsepower at the wheels. Drivetrain loss should be between, I think, between 10 to 15%. So I'm hoping between 150 and 170 brake horsepower. I'm going to Autotronics near Sheffield. The owner, Clive, apparently used to have a Mercedes 190e at one point, so I'll ask him about that, definitely see what his ownership experience has been like. Maybe he'll have an idea of what sort of power this should be making at the wheels. But like I said at the beginning, I'm not being very optimistic with the figures, let's be honest. It's over 30 years old. It's 177,000 mile engine. I'm not sure whether it's had any engine work done. I don't think it has. I certainly don't have any evidence for it. The only thing that I've done is make sure the valve adjustment's correct, and making sure the clearances are all good, which should help as well with compression a bit. So let's get to it really. So I've made it to Autotronics Developments. So I've had a quick chat with the owner, and he's got a couple of little jobs to do, and then we'll get this on the rolling road to see how it does. It's like I said, I'm not expecting anything near 200 brake horsepower. It'd probably be, I think, 150 at best, if I'm honest. Right, so this is Clive from Autotronics. We've got the car on the dyno. And like I mentioned, Clive, you actually used to have one of these.
I did. I had an 89F with 89,000 miles on it. Last time I sampled that, it made about 208 horsepower at the flywheel.
Right, and what are we expecting at the wheels, you think, on this one?
It depends on the fueling. I've seen some that run horrendously lean. The fuel filters tend to get overlooked, so I'm not going to make any guesses. Extraordinarily lean.
Extraordinary lean.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the status of the fuel filter? Have you put one
Fuel
on?
filter's new.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
and it's had a new fuel pump as well,
Fantastic.
so all of that stuff's new.
But this is what she's making.
Let's take the photos now.
That's what she's making.
Okay, so
165 horsepower
okay,
at 6,000 revs.
so the wheel power's 133.
Indeed.
Okay,
And that's the torque.
okay.
Like I say, I didn't rev it to rev limit. It was pretty pointless.
Yeah.
Would you like me to try and richen her up a bit?
Yes, please. Yeah, that'd be good. So Clive's done a run. He didn't take it to the max because it's running quite lean, which he's already taken off the EHA valve to try richen it up a bit. It made 133 at the wheels, so I wasn't actually that far off my worst case scenario, which was 120 brake horsepower at the wheels. I think it was doing 163-ish at the engine apparently. So a fair bit down from what it should be at, but we'll see what this adjustment does. Obviously, from a fueling perspective, the fuel filter's new, the fuel pump's new, so it should be good from that respect. Yeah, we'll do another power run.
Yeah. 187
187.
and 226 Newton meters. Fueling's a lot better.
Right, brilliant.
I'm not. Oh, and that's a much nicer power curve. So the printer's knackered, Harris. So if
Okay.
you would like to screenshot that, my friend,
That's fine, no worries.
that's a nice improvement.
Yeah.
It'll feel a lot nicer on a light load as well, because it was almost stumbling with a lean mixture.
Yeah, I noticed that. So
So a few ponies have escaped, but that's quite respectable, really.
yeah, a few ponies. I mean, my worst case scenario was about 120 brake horsepower at the wheels, so we weren't far off that to begin with. But clearly, good improvement.
Yeah,
so
it's a lot
it's
happier,
at 53 almost at the wheels now. Okay.
Yeah,
So good 20 brake horsepower. You've just fixed that.
absolutely. Yeah, good.
Brilliant.
That was cheapest horsepower you'll ever get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I came here today to get a power run on my 190E 2.5 16 valve, but when I spoke to Clive over the phone, I was pleased to find that you'd actually owned one as well.
Absolutely. I'd owned one for best part of 25 years.
Wow.
Had it from being a very young man in my mid-20s. Evolved it a little bit, and we managed to get it up to about 208 horsepower.
Yeah.
put Bilstein shockers and I-back springs on it, which really enhanced the handling. Yeah, loved it.
Yeah.
Well built motor.
Yeah. You mentioned you bought it for about 11 grand.
Yes.
Almost what, 26 years ago.
Absolutely, and I got 10,000 for it, so that's cheap motoring.
Very cheap motoring for 25 plus years, which was amazing. So was yours a 2.3 16
It was a
volt?
2.5.
A 2.5
Yeah, same colour as that.
manual as well.
Manual,
Yeah.
same colour as that.
Brilliant.
F registered.
Okay.
Yeah.
So made a lot better horsepower than mine now.
It's done a lot less mileage.
Yeah, about half. So
Yeah.
yeah. But did you you mentioned the other choice was a Suzuki Cappuccino?
Yes. I was young and stupid.
But I think you made the right choice in the end.
I think I did. Definitely. Yeah. Well, nice to meet you. And,
Yeah, good to meet you.
carry on with that Escort.
Yeah, so Clive in the back has a rear-wheel drive Escort as well, which is a Genesis G4, which is apparently quite rare. Right, I've just driven away from Clive at Autotronics after having power tested on this, and quite honestly, I was not far off with my worst case scenario of 120 brake horsepower at the wheels. I think it did 133.8 or something along those lines, but that wasn't even going at the full potential. So Clive noticed it was running quite lean, so he made an adjustment on the EHA valve to just enrich it a bit more, and quite honestly, driving away it feels a lot better. Feels a lot happier. It doesn't bog down in places like it did before. After that adjustment, it got up to 152.8 brake horsepower at the wheels, and initially I think it got to about 163 at the engine, and now it got up to 187. So a decent improvement for a quick 10-minute adjustment. And Clive did jokingly say it's the cheapest horsepower you'll ever get. He's right, because you know, the cost of electronic fuel injection is probably going to be the best part of £1,000, if not, you know, a lot more once you add in individual throttle bodies. I think that's it for this video. I wasn't too happy with the initial brake horsepower reading, but I am a bit happier that it's, you know, only 10 to 15 brake horsepower off around the 200 mark that it should have at the engine. It made 187, so respectable given it's done 177,000 miles, and there's no signs of engine work or any history of engine work, at least. So 10 horsepower over 32 years and that mileage, I think is fine with me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time.